Hey everybody, this video is called What Ought Your Work Ethic to Be? And tonight we're going to step out of our pass-through study in the book of Numbers, where we're going to look at a standalone topical message. And so what I would like to hit on today is work ethic. And what does the Bible have to say about work ethic? How should we be as workers? And we see all around us, there is a decline in work ethics. If you are in management today, you realize there's people that don't want to work. There's people that do work. They just come to collect a paycheck. They don't care about what they're, putting in for their effort. So all around us in this crazy world, we get a sense of entitlement and laziness around us. And I think that those are the two best words to describe it as today. And I want to look at the foundation of work. So you find that in Genesis 2:15 here. It says, "Then the Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to tend and keep it." So we see that Adam, right from the very beginning, is given a job by God. And God is the one that instituted work with creation prior to the fall of man. And then in Genesis 3:17 through 19, it says here, "Then to Adam he said, because you have heeded the voice of your wife, and have eaten from the tree of which I commanded you, saying, you shall not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for your sake, and toil you shall eat of it all the days of your life, both thorns and thistles, and it shall bring forth for you, and you shall eat the herb of the field, in the sweat of your face you shall eat bread, till you return to the ground, for out of it you were taken, for dust you are, and dust you shall return." So we see that work became difficult at the fall. The work became difficult after Adam and Eve sinned. In Proverbs chapter 6, verse 6 through 11, it says here, "Go to the ant, you sluggard, consider her ways and be wise, which having no captain, overseer, or ruler, provides her supplies in the summer, and gathers her food in the harvest. How long will you slumber, O sluggard? When will you rise from your sleep? A little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep. So shall your poverty come on you like a prowler, and your need like an armed man." Want to learn work? Just watch the ants in the summertime. That's what the proverb Solomon is writing here. Watch the ants work in the summer. If you ever watch ant hills and you watch, it's usually fascinating for younger, little boys. They like to watch, things such as ants. And I used to be that kid when I was really little as well. I'd watch the ants work and I was fascinated with them. And people who don't wish to work are likely to be the ones in poverty. And now what I'm saying here is not everyone in poverty is because they don't want to work. There is multiple justifiable reasons that people can't work, just like as a physical disability. Maybe they have a bad spine or whatever. They're limited in what they can do. And I'm not saying that everyone in poverty doesn't work and that they don't work hard. I mean, we live in a fallen world. We live in a world where you got CEOs living their best lives now, and the people under them are, living paycheck to paycheck, doing the best they can. But look at some of the homeless today. In the town that I'm in right now, you will find, especially when the weather gets warmer, not when it's, negatives, wind chill, but when it gets warmer, you on the islands, like at traffic lights and everything, you see people there, God bless them, homeless, every little bit helps, stuff like that. And a lot of times you're going to see people that are in their 20s and 30s who could pick up a shovel and dig dirt, for a local contract company. I mean, they don't look like they have any physical ailments. And the problem a lot of times with these homeless young people is that they don't want to work. They want that money that you give them on their islands, not for food or for survival, but they're using it for drugs like heroin and all that stuff. So if you ever, I'm not saying it's wrong to help out the homeless. You know, there is legit homelessness, but there's a lot of homelessness that's self-inflicted. And, you know, never give cash to a homeless person. Offer them, you know, drive through at McDonald's or whatever, you know, a salad if you want to be healthy. You know, offer them an actual item. And, you know, if they really turn it away and they really don't want it, that means they really don't need it. But there are physically capable of working people, but they choose to live on the street islands of traffic lights. And Solomon encourages us to work hard. And I want to go over to the next book, Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 10. It says here, "Whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all your might, for there is no work or device or knowledge or wisdom in the grave where you are going." So we find a call by Solomon to have a strong work ethic. In Colossians 3 verse 23 through 25 is next. I'm actually going through this week the book of Colossians with my children's Bible bedtime readings. But Colossians 3:23 through 25 says, "And whatever you do, do it heartily as to the Lord and not to men, knowing that from the Lord you will receive the reward of the inheritance, for you serve the Lord Christ. But he who does wrong will be repaid for what he has done, and there is no partiality." So we are commanded to work not for the boss or the manager, supervisor over us, but we ought to go to work and put in, you know, 110% as if the Lord was right in front of us and we're working for him, because we are accountable to God in all that we do. And, you know, some people like, you know, what's the point of working? You know, this life's too short. You know, I had an old employee that I saw post that on his social media. He's living on the streets. 2 Thessalonians 3:10, it tells us, "For even when we were with you, we commanded you this: if anyone will not work, neither shall he eat." Well, that throws socialism out the window for those who take Acts chapter 2 and says, you know, oh, you know, let's all share together and all that. So to wrap up, the refusal of an able-bodied man to work should have the consequences that they lack things such as food. And you don't work, you don't eat. Thessalonians puts that as clear as day. So that's going to wrap up this video, and we're going to be back in the book of Numbers this upcoming week as we look at Miriam's death, and we're going to look at Moses striking the rock, and we're going to see a side of Moses that we know Moses had a great relationship with God, but it's going to take a turning point at that point. So I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. If you're in the Northeast up here, stay warm, and we'll catch up with you next week. God bless.